Welcome to Soul Stories, where every tale touches the heart, inspires the mind, and stays with the soul. Asterisk. It was a cold winter night when three friends, Aiden, the calm thinker, Lucas, the lively joker, and Mia, the heart of the group, left their quiet small town to explore the old forest road that locals often warned them about. The town slept early, the streets empty, the lamps flickering as their car rolled out with excitement and loud music vibrating through the air. This was supposed to be their last adventure before Christmas break ended. A fun memory to laugh about later. Asterisk. They promised each other to return before midnight, but none of them knew how strange that night would become. Asterisk. As they drove deeper toward the forest entrance, the temperature dropped sharply. Aiden glanced at the dashboard. Asterisk. Why does it feel like we just entered a freezer? He joked, though his smile faded when he saw the sudden rise of fog ahead. Asterisk. Within seconds, a thick wall of mist surrounded the car. The trees on both sides twisted into dark shadows that looked like they were leaning in closer. Lucas lowered the music, feeling uneasy. Asterisk. Guys, does this fog look normal to you? He whispered. Asterisk. Mia checked her phone. No signal. It was full just a minute ago. Asterisk. They kept driving, but strangely the road behind them seemed to dissolve into the fog as soon as they passed it, like the forest was swallowing their way out. Every turn looked the same, every tree looked identical, and the deeper they went, the quieter the world became. No crickets, no wind, just an unnatural silence pressing against the car windows. Asterisk. Aiden slowed down when he noticed something moving in the distance, a figure crossing the road, but when the headlights hit it, the figure vanished. Asterisk. Did you guys see that? Aiden asked, gripping the steering wheel. Asterisk. Mia nodded slowly, fear rising in her eyes. Asterisk. Lucas tried to laugh it off, but his voice cracked. Probably a deer, right? Asterisk. At 11:47 p.m., Mia finally managed to record a voice note, her hands shaking, her breath trembling. Asterisk. We're lost, and someone is following us. Asterisk. After she sent it, the car suddenly jerked as if something heavy hit the back. Lucas spun around, staring into the fog. Asterisk. I swear, someone is back there, he shouted. Asterisk. Aiden accelerated, but the fog grew thicker, the path darker, the forest quieter, and then, suddenly the headlights flickered. The car door locks clicked on their own. That was the last moment anyone heard from them, and from that night onward, the forest never gave them back. Asterisk. The next morning, when the sun finally rose over the quiet town, a hunter reported something strange near the forest entrance, a car with its headlights still on, engine humming weakly, and all four doors hanging wide open. Within minutes, police arrived, expecting perhaps a simple breakdown or a careless driver. Asterisk. But what they found chilled them to the bone. Asterisk. The car belonged to Aiden's father, and the keys were still in the ignition. The engine had been running all night, vibrating softly as if waiting for its owners to return. The seats were empty, yet warm enough to show the three friends had been there recently. Asterisk. There were no footprints around the vehicle, not leading into the forest, not walking away, nothing. Asterisk. The muddy ground was untouched, smooth and silent. Officer Reed bent down to examine the frozen dew on the vegetation around the car. It's like they vanished into thin air, he murmured. Asterisk. But the most frightening discovery came when Deputy Morris walked around to the back. On the dusty rear window, written with a trembling finger, were three words. Asterisk. We warned you. Asterisk. The handwriting was odd, crooked, sharp at the edges, almost like whoever wrote it had done so in a rush, or without human steadiness. Morris stepped back instantly. Asterisk. Did the kids write this? He asked, but even he didn't sound convinced. Asterisk. News spread through the town in minutes. By noon, terrified whispers echoed in every shop, every home, every street. Parents held their children close. Old men shook their heads, muttering stories from decades ago, stories no one believed anymore. Until now. Asterisk. They spoke of the cursed forest, the place where strange lights were seen at night, where people heard voices calling their names, where travelers vanished long before roads were even built. Asterisk. No one who enters that forest at night ever comes back the same, an elderly woman claimed, clutching her shawl tightly. Asterisk. And some never come back at all. Asterisk. A search team was organized immediately. Police officers, trained dogs, volunteers. The dogs refused to step past the forest entrance. They whined, pulled away, and barked at something none of them could see. The deeper the search party went, the more unnatural the forest felt. Even in daylight, the shadows looked wrong. The silence felt heavy, almost hostile. Asterisk. Miles away from the car, Officer Reed found Mia's scarf snagged on a branch, but it was frozen solid, as if it had been there for years, not hours. Asterisk. How is this possible? He whispered to himself. Asterisk. Every clue they found only made the disappearance feel more impossible. Asterisk. And as the sun set that evening, the forest seemed to grow darker, almost hungry. Asterisk. Whatever had taken the three friends, it wasn't done yet. Asterisk, 2 days after the abandoned car was found, the search team pushed deeper into the forest than anyone in the town had dared to go in decades. The deeper they walked, the stranger the forest felt. The trees grew unnaturally close, their branches twisting together like skeletal hands blocking the sky. Even the wind refused to enter this part of the woods. Asterisk, just when they were about to turn back, a volunteer shouted, "Asterisk, over here. You all need to see this." Asterisk, hidden between thick layers of dead vines, stood an old wooden cavern almost blending into the forest like it had grown out of the earth itself. The door hung crooked, one hinge rusted, the wood swollen with age and cold. No one had lived here for years, maybe decades. Asterisk, Officer Reed stepped inside first. Flashlight rays. Asterisk, and the moment the light hit the walls, everyone froze. The cabin wasn't empty. Every wall from floor to ceiling was covered with drawings, hundreds of them. That's Asterisk children's drawings, rough and frantic, all showing the 3 missing friends, Aiden, Lucas, and Mia. Asterisk, their clothes, their hair, even their smiles, perfectly sketched. Asterisk, except for one horrifying detail. Each drawing had the faces violently scratched out, as if someone hated what they saw. "Who would do this?" whispered one of the volunteers, trembling. Asterisk then noticed something else. Hanging on a rusty nail by the window was Aiden's jacket. Mud on the sleeves, torn at the collar, but unmistakably his. Asterisk, next to the fireplace, half buried in dust, lay Mia's bracelet, broken in two as if someone had snapped it out of anger. Asterisk, and near the door, stuck between the floorboards, was a torn piece of Lucas's backpack strap. Asterisk, this means they were here, Reed said quietly, his throat tightening. Asterisk, before anyone could respond, a faint sound drifted through the cabin, a whisper, soft but unmistakable, a voice, Lucas's voice. Asterisk, help please. Down here, Asterisk, everyone froze. The voice didn't sound like a recording, it didn't sound distant. It sounded like Lucas was just beneath their feet, calling up from the earth. Asterisk, the team hurried toward the back of the cabin where a small wooden door lay, flush with the floor, a basement door. Dust and scratches covered it, as if someone had tried to claw their way out. Reed grabbed the handle. "Lucas, we're here, hold on." The voice grew clearer, echoing through the floorboards. "Don't open it." But it was too late. They pulled the basement door open. Asterisk, instantly, the voice stopped. Silence crushed the room like a weight. Asterisk. The flashlight beam shone into the darkness below, revealing nothing but empty stairs and a cold, hollow space. Lucas was nowhere to be seen. Only the echo of his last word hung in the air. Asterisk, as if the forest had swallowed it whole. Asterisk, the basement stairs creaked under their weight as the search team descended into the darkness. The air grew colder with every step, thick and stale as if it hadn't been breathed in decades. Dust swirled in the flashlight beams, and spiderwebs clung to the walls like faded memories. Asterisk, at the far corner of the room, half buried under collapsed shelves, lay a small wooden box. Officer Reed carefully brushed off the dirt and opened it. Inside was a leather-bound diary, brittle and yellowed with age. The first few pages crumbled at the edges. The handwriting was shaky, uneven, as though written by someone terrified and alone. It belonged to a hermit who had lived in the cabin many years ago, a man the town barely remembered. A man whispered about in old tales. Asterisk, the team flipped to the last entry, the one written in darker ink, the strokes heavy, desperate, almost carved into the page. It read, "They came at night. They took my family. They whispered that they would return for others. If anyone finds this, leave. Asterisk, the forest is theirs." Asterisk, a chilling silence filled the basement as the words sank in. The hermit hadn't described who they were, he never gave them a name. But the drawings upstairs, the belongings left behind, the strange echoes, everything suddenly pointed to something far older and darker than a simple disappearance. Asterisk, the authorities tried to piece together a reasonable explanation, but nothing made sense. There were no footprints, no signs of struggle, no bodies. Asterisk, just a pattern, a history of vanishings the town had long tried to forget. Asterisk, the official report concluded that Aiden, Lucas, and Mia were taken by someone or something that still lurked in the forest, hiding in shadows no human dared to walk through. Asterisk, search parties continued for months, but no trace was ever found. It was as though the forest itself had claimed them. Asterisk, and yet, the story didn't end there. Asterisk, every year, on the exact date of their disappearance, people living near the forest reported strange sounds at night, whispers drifting through the trees, faint cries calling for help, and 3 distinct voices echoing in the wind. Asterisk, some swore they heard footsteps following them. When they walked too close to the woods, others claimed to see figures standing between the trees, watching silently before melting back into the darkness. Asterisk's fear tightened its grip on the town. Families locked their doors early. Children were forbidden from going near the forest after sunset. Even the bravest hunters avoided the woods entirely. Asterisk and Soul. The tragic night that stole the three friends became a legend, a warning passed down through generations, carved into the town's memory like a scar. The people named it the night they never returned.